Hi, this is Marloomz Creations, and today I'm going to show you how to make this puppy love or Valentine's Day puppy on your loom. This is a single loom design. We'll be making the body and then the head and attaching them. If you want to make your puppy with black ears and black feet, then you are going to need 160 or 170 white bands. And if you're doing the black, you're going to need 83 black bands. If you are doing just the red, you're going to need 83 red bands plus an additional 17 for the heart in the middle. This one, again, is 83 black, 17 red, and 170 white. And so just gather your supplies. It really depends on which puppy you're going to make. You can also grab a large pony bead for the nose. If you don't have it, you can use a band, and I'll show you how. And 2 smaller pony beads for the eyes. So let's get started with making all of the pieces, and I will show you what to do. So the first thing you're going to do is we're going to make the arms, the feet, the cheeks, and the ears. So let's begin with the ears. And if you have a spare hook or a, you can use a toothpick, or sometimes I like to use a skewer. You can do that for the pieces. So let's begin by making the red puppy. You know what? I'm going to make the red puppy because I really just like that red puppy so much. And again, if you just copy what I'm going to do with the red for the ears. So I'm going to start with the ears, and you're going to start by taking 2 red bands. Again, if you're doing the puppy with the black, you're going to do 2 black bands. So that's 2 red bands, and you're going to put a single here and a single here. And then these are 2 bands. So this was 2, single, single, 2, another 2, and another set of 2. And then on the other side, 2 bands here, 2 here, and these are 2 from here to here. Then you're going to take a single band and wrap it around this peg only 3 times. Take another single, wrap it around itself so it's a cap band, and cap from there. Another single wrapped around itself from here to here. And again on those 2 from here to here. So now we can do the same thing on the bottom to make the other ear. Take 2 bands, place from here to here, then grab a single band, place it from here to here, and a single from here to here. And then go down 3 times using double red. And double red here. Again, another double red. And then you're turning from this peg to this peg. And again, a single band on this peg wrapped around only 3 times. And then capped bands from here to here. Another cap from here to here. And another capped band from here to here. And now we can loop. So you're going to reach in underneath that capped band and make sure it's wrapped around 3 times. Grab the top 2 and bring it to the left. Reach in, grab the other top, the remaining 2, and bring it to the peg above. Reach in here. Push back all those bands, grabbing just the bottom 2, loop forward. Grab these 2 and loop forward. Again, pushing the capped band back, grabbing the bottom two, loop forward. Now you should be grabbing a single band, bring it forward, another single band over here, bring it to this peg, and then reach in here, grab that double band, and then you can take it off slowly. I don't yank them, I like to take it off slowly so it keeps its shape. So that's one of your puppy's ears. You can place this to the side, it should not come apart. But if you feel like you don't want to do that in case, you can take a single band and place it through and make a slip knot and just place it to the side like that. So let's loop this one. Again, reaching underneath where the cap band is, grabbing the top two, looping to the left, grabbing the remaining, looping it forward, reach in here, pushing all these bands back, and make sure when you enter that you do push back that capped band, and then grab the two bands on the bottom. Again, you're grabbing just a single band over here and a single here, and then reach in here and grab those two. And you don't want to yank them off because it keeps the cute puppy shaped ear if you don't yank it off. And then you can do the same thing. You can just grab another single black or put it to the side, make a slip knot, and place it to the side. So now we've completed the ears. So now we're going to do the cheek extension. The cheeks you can either do on your hook or you can do it on the loom. You're just going to use 2 white bands and go down 3 times. So 2 bands at a time, go down 3, and then take a single band and only wrap it around 3. And you're going to do that again. 2 bands. And these are not connected. And then again, a capped band wrapped around only 3 times. Once you've done that, you can just loop them. And these will be your puppy's cheeks. And these you can just place to the side. And now we're going to do the feet, your puppy's feet. So for the feet, you have to choose what color you are going, well, if you made red ears, you're going to choose the same color for the feet, or if you want to make it a different color, that's your choice as well. So I'm going to just stick with the white and the red. You're going to take 2 white bands, and you're going to place 2 here and 2 here. And then you're going to switch to the color that matches your puppy's ears. Take a single band, place it here, a single here, and then the rest is going to be double red. So take 2 red, place it here, 2 red here, and then you're going to turn in, and then again turn in. Go down the middle using 2, and again closing in the middle. Take a single band and place a triangle band here, and then a single band on this peg, again only wrapping it around 3 times. You can do that again. Take 2 white bands, place it here, and then another 2, place here, a single band here, and a single red band here. 2, 2 bands. And 2 bands there. Another 2 bands in the middle. And then you're just going to close that. So 2 from here to here. And from here to here. Take a single band and make a triangle on these 3, and then a single on this one, a capped, only 3 times. So now we're going to loop the feet. You're going to reach in underneath the cap, grab the top 2, loop to the left, grab the next top 2, loop to the, oops, I grabbed the wrong ones. Just snagging the wrong bands here. So grab the next top 2. It should be a lot easier for you. I'm going to do this over. Try that over. So you're going to reach in for the next top 2 and loop it to the right, and then the remaining 2 and loop to the middle. And then you're going to reach in the side, grab the bottom 2, loop forward, grab that single band and loop to the middle. Again, in here, grab those bottom 2, loop forward, grab that single, loop to the middle, and then don't forget the middle 2 bands as well. Reach in, push all the red bands back, and loop the 2 white bands. And do the same thing on this one. Reach in under the cap. And this one went forward only because of how I placed it, but it doesn't matter. As long as when you're pulling on it, where you put it where it goes. So you just loop it to where it goes. And I do like to loop the sides first. And then the middle, just don't forget, if you do the sides, don't forget to loop the middle. And then reach in for those 2 white bands. And then again, do not yank it off. If you take things off slowly, they'll keep their shape. And then you can take this and you can place these to the side. And again, these should not fall apart. Just place them to the side. So we have done the feet, the ears, the cheek extension, and now we just have to do the arms. So for the arms, you're going to take 2 white bands and you're going to go down 6 times using white bands. And then after the 6th one, you're going to take the color that matches your puppy's ears and grab 3 of those bands. So I'm using red, so I'm going to grab 3 red bands. And then I'm going to cap that off, wrapping a single around 4 times. And then you can do the same thing on this side. Go down 6 times. Grabbing 3 red bands or black bands, and then a capped band wrapped around 4 times. And then you can just loop that. So So you just reach in under the cap, grab the 3 bands, and loop forward. I'm sorry if I'm looping fast, but I think by now you guys know how to loop forward, so I just kind of speed the looping process. You can pause. So these are your puppy's arms, and you can place these to the side as well. And we have completed all of the pieces. We have done the arms, the ears, the feet, the cheeks, and so now we're just going to begin with the body of the puppy. So we're going to start with our white bands, and you're going to first make the neck. That's 2 bands here. And then you are going to go to the left and the right with 2 bands. So the rest of the body is just using double band. Once you have went to the left and the right, you're going to go down 2 times on each row using 2 bands. So 2, and now this is where we add the heart. You can choose to have a different color heart, a pink, any color you want, but this is how we do it. You're going to grab 3 red bands and place 3 here. Another 3 on this side. In the middle, just 2 red bands. So this is 3, 3, and 2. 2 red bands here, 2 red here, and 2 red here. So again, these were 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, and 2. And now grab another 3 red bands and place it over here. Now switching back to our white bands, grab 2, go down 1, 2. 1 here. 2 bands, but I mean 1 going down. 2 here. And 2 here. So this is your setup so far. Make sure yours looks like that. And push all of them down because we're going to be adding another layer. Take 2 bands and on this middle peg, and from this middle peg to this peg. Now using 2 white bands, go down the rest of the way of your loom. So just go down. And mine is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you have a longer loom, your legs might look too long. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now I just wanted to mention that I'm using 2 bands for the legs, and it has like a floppy feel to them. I like it. I think it's really cute, the little floppy look. If your bands are not by Rainbow Loom and they're thin, then you can use 3 bands for the legs if you want. It's your choice. It'll just make it thicker and sturdier, but I happen to like that floppy look. So I just thought I'd let you know that. Again, 2 here. 2 here. Push these down. You can actually add the feet if you want. So take the feet and you can place them on the bottom. So now we're going to add another layer on the outside, and it's just going to be white. Excuse me. So you're going to take 2 white bands and place it on those 2, like so, on these 2. So altogether you should have went down 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times using white bands. You're going to do the same thing on this side where the arm would be. 1, 2, 5, and 6. So now where you place the 6th layer, you're going to take a single band and cap it 3 times. And do the same thing on this one, the one where you have the last set of double. Take a single band and cap it 3 times only. And now take your puppy's arms and place your puppy's arm on this peg right here. And the same thing on the other one. And now we're going to add triangle bands. You can push these down if you want as well. So the first triangle band is going to go on these 3. You're skipping the one where the arm is. 2, and I'm using white bands. So even if you made a black hands and feet, you would still use white bands. White here. So that's the 3rd triangle band, the 4th, and the 5th. And that's all you need. And now we're going to reach in. We didn't put a triangle band here because we don't need it. Reach in on that capped band that we wrapped around 3 times and grab the top 2 white bands. And you're going to loop it to the peg above. And then you're going to reach in here and you're making sure that every time you enter a peg, you're pushing that triangle band back. Grab the other top two white bands so you're not touching the bottom row. Reach in here, grab those top 2 white bands and loop forward. Same thing here and here and here. We're just grabbing the top row and looping the top row. We're going to push these down. You're going to do the same thing on this one. Reach in and grab that caps band that we wrapped around only 3. Push it back and grab the top 2 white bands and loop forward. Push the triangle band back, grab the top 2 white, loop forward. Just continue to grab the top 2 white bands and bring them to the peg above. You want to make sure that you did not pull or snag any of the bottom. It should look the same remaining on the bottom. So now once you have done that and you looped to the arm, you're going to take your thumb and cover the first peg and take your finger and reach in, and where it looks like a teardrop, you're going to grab both of these and pop it up and over like that. So these are not coming off this peg. That's why I said to hold your finger there just so it doesn't pop off. And now again, take your finger, pop up and over to the side. And now this capped band that we wrapped around only 3 times, you're not removing that. So if you want to just put your thumb there just to be safe, and then take your finger, pop up and over to the side. And then you can fix the triangle bands after to make sure that they're placed properly. Again, this side. Thumb on this peg, reach underneath, pop up, over to the side, pinch the white bands, up, over to the side, And again, this one is not being removed. Pop up and over to the side. And then fix the triangle bands. And once you are comfortable that you've placed them on the outside the right way and that your triangle bands are where they should be, then we can loop the rest of the body. So grab 2 red bands because we're going to be adding a capped band to the top to make it more of a heart shape once we loop, or or the color of your heart. Just grab 2 extra bands. Reach in where the feet are and pull and grab the 2 white bands and loop forward. And stop at that peg. Do the same thing here. So make sure that you've looped everything up to this point right here. And then you're going to reach in here and you should see these bands right here. That's the capped band. Push it back. And you're going to see a bottom set of bands and the middle set, which is these right here in the middle. You're going to grab the first set of the 2 white bands, bring it up, and bring to the middle. And you know you've grabbed the right one because when you pull on it, you should see the bottom being pulled. Again, reach in here, pushing this capped band back. And then if you want, you can do, I like to pull on it, then I can see it inside. So if I move it with my finger, I can see which one I need. And then I just loop it to the middle. Now you should see that you have a remaining white set of bands on both sides. You're going to re-enter the peg, the same peg, grab the remaining white and loop forward. Same thing here, grab the remaining 2 white, loop forward. Don't forget the middle. Push all of these bands back, grab the 2 bottom bands and loop forward. And now this is just a regular looping process. Don't go ahead of me though, because we do have to add cap bands. Push the triangle band back, loop the 2 white bands, loop these 3 red bands or black, loop these. So 1, 2, 3 you have looped. The next set, the middle, and the next set. Those are 3, 2, and 3. So far you should have looped all of the red bands. And now you're going to take your hook, take a single red band, and wrap it around 4 times. And do that again, a single red, and wrap it around 4 times. So you should have 2 on your hook. On this one, reach in, grab those 2 white bands, and pull that capped band down, and then loop. Same thing here, grab the 2 white, pull the capped band down, and loop. The middle, you just loop, reach in here, loop to the arm, also here, loop to the arm. Don't forget the middle. And then the last is the push the arm bands back, grab the 2 bottom white, loop to the neck, again, and loop to the neck. Reach in, push all of these bands back, and loop the neck band. Again, you don't want to yank this off. It'll look funny if you overly stretch your bands. So you can just do it slowly. I know that a lot of you like to yank them off. I don't. I do it little by little. I'm going to take a black band and I'm going to slip knot a band through the neck, and then we can remove that later. So this is your puppy's body, and it should be neat looking because you shouldn't have yanked it off. And that capped band, it's supposed to give it the better shape of a heart look. You can push it down. What I do is there's these two white bands right here. The one that's holding the cap band, I pull it up. And then by pulling it up, it pushes those red bands down. And the same thing here. And it's just supposed to give it just a better heart shape. If you don't like the cap bands, you can always tear them off. This is what it looks like without cap bands. I just thought this would give it more of a heart shape. But again, if you don't, you can just cut it with a scissor and just leave it like that. So now let's make the puppy's face. For the face, you are going to start off with 2 white bands from here to here. Actually, I'm sorry. 2 white bands like this, because that's the slip knot band. And then go to the left and to the right with 2 white bands. And then you are going to go down using 2 red bands at a time. Go down 3 times. On this side, and 3 times on this side. And then in the middle is just going to be all white. So from this peg, you can just go down the middle 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 'Single white here, a single here. I'm sorry, they're not single. I meant 2 bands, 2 bands. Everything here is 2 bands. So it's 2, 2, and then you turn in. So you should have 3 reds and 3 sets of white, but the white on this one turns in, and then the same thing on the other side. You can add your puppy's ears. So take the ears and see how they're curved. So I'm going to place this one on this side and this one on this side. Just going to take off that little slip knot. Take the ear and you are placing it on the second peg. Well, it's actually the third. 1, 2, 3. But from where the white turns and then where the face starts, it's the second peg. That's what I mean. If you do it on the second, it's going to be at the top of its head, so it's going to look funny. So it needs to be 1, 2, 3, the third peg. And this is the other ear. And now we're going to do the cheek extensions. Take your cheek extensions and you're going to take your hook and go through all those 4 loops, and you're going to place it right here where the bottom of the face is. It's 1, 2, 3. Again, 3 pegs up. And then you're going to take your hook and you're going to place it through the 3 the cap band, and there's only 3 there, and you're going to pull on it and place it on this peg and push down. Same thing on this side. Take your hook, go through and make sure you're only grabbing 3 and not an extra like I'm doing. So it's 3, and then place it on here, and it should be on the outside, and then push down. Take a single white band and make a triangle band right here. And now we're going to do the nose and the eyes. So for the nose and the eyes, I am using a large pony bead for the nose and 2 small pony beads for the eyes. If you don't have that, that's okay. For the nose, you're going to take a single band and you're going to wrap it around your hook 4 times. Then take another single band. And now choose the color that you want your nose to be. So let me just show you. On this one with the red, I did a black nose, but on this one I did a red nose. So if you want a red nose, then you would do a red band wrapped around 4 times, and then another red band wrapped around itself, and you would transfer this on like that, and then grab the other loop, and this is for a black nose, and then you would take a white band so that it matches the face color, and you would slide the white band through like that, and then that nose would go on the second peg right here. But I'm going to be using the pony bead, and I'm just going to slide a white band through this bead and place it here. And actually I'm going to make it a red nose because I think I like the way the red nose looks better. And now we're going to do the eyes. If you don't have pony beads, you're just going to take a single black band, wrap it around itself, and then you're going to take a single red band. Now if you made your puppy with black, then you're just going to take another black band and slide it through. The problem with that is that if the bands are black and they match, you might not see the eyes. So it's, I'm able to see the bead a little because it has a little shine, but I'm worried that if you use a band that you might not see it. So maybe instead of using this black band, which is, I'll show you what I mean. See how the bead is being held by that black band? Instead of black, maybe you want to use white. So the eye is still black, and maybe if you made the black puppy, you want to use a white band wrapped around itself, and then you would transfer that on, and then grab the other loop. And then this would be like that. And that way you can kind of see where the eye is. But I'm going to be showing you how to do it for the red puppy. So a single band wrapped around itself 4 times, and then you are transferring that onto a single red band like this, and then you're taking this loop and you're going to wrap it around the hook, take this loop and wrap it around the hook. And I'll do that again. So it's a single band, black band for the eye wrapped around itself 4 times, a single red band, And you can skip this part if you have beads and you already know what to do. So we transferred it onto a single red band. Take the loop, wrap it around itself. On the hook, take this loop and wrap it around. So now you have 2 sets of eyes. And then you would transfer that on to a red band. So you would take another single red and slowly slide them on. I would slide one eye at a time. So that's one eye onto that single band and slide it down. The same thing, one eye and slide it down. And then your eye will go on the 3rd peg. So 1, 2, 3. So it's the peg right underneath the ears of the puppy. And then you would separate your eyes and open that band in the middle right here and place one band resting above that peg and one below it. And that's how you can make your eyes with rubber bands. I'm just going to be using the little beads, and how I do that is I slide it through and I do the same step I did before. Now, a word of advice, if you're using a really large bead for the eyes, don't do this step. Don't take a band and wrap it around your hook and do the eyes like that, because it's gonna look like they're sticking out. If you choose to use bigger eyes, then just take a single band. If you're using bigger beads, take a single band and slide both beads onto that single band and just place the eyes here. Otherwise, it's just gonna look funny. This step is only if you're using tiny beads. So again, here's my tiny bead, and I'm going to slide it through. And once it's on there, it's wrap around the hook and wrap around the hook. Again, single band, wrap around the hook and wrap around the hook. So this is the eye. So you have your eyes, and you're going to take a single red band and if you did the black puppy, the black face, and you're going to use a black band. And you're going to slide these on. And it's the same thing I did with the rubber bands. And then you're just going to place it on these 2 pegs. And then separate the eyes. Open up the middle. Grab that one band, rest it above that peg, and the other one resting underneath it. Take a single white band, place it from here to here, and it's the single white band even if you made the puppy with the black. And then from here to here, it's a single red wrapped around itself. So it's a cap band on these 3 as a triangle band. If you made this puppy, it's a black band. And now we're ready to add the body. So take your puppy's body and make sure this is the front of your puppy where we added the capped bands. And take your hook and grab the 2 neck bands and the other 2. So you should have 4. And make sure again this is the front of your puppy. And place these bands on here. And you may want to pull down just a little bit. Reach in, grab the top 2, and loop it to the left. Reach in, grab the other 2, and loop to the right, and then grab the remaining and loop forward. And now you don't have to hold on to the neck so much. Reach in here, and you're pushing all of these bands back and grabbing just the bottom 2 and looping that forward. loop the middle forward, and we could always pop the nose through later. Reach here, again pushing all of the bands back, grabbing the bottom two and looping forward. You want to make sure you loop this part correctly, otherwise the cheeks are going to come apart. So now here's that triangle band. You're going to push that back, grab the bottom two, loop forward. Same thing here, triangle band, push back, grab the bottom two, loop forward. This is where the nose is, reach underneath, loop the two white bands, and don't worry about the nose. We will, if yours shifts as well, we'll pop it through later. Band, push back, loop forward, loop the middle, and same thing here, loop these. There's that eye band, push that back, grab the bottom two red and loop forward. You want to make sure you take that eye band, push it back, and loop forward. Reach in where the eye is, push the eye band back, grab the bottom two, loop forward. Now you're at the ears, push all of the bands back, loop the red, same thing here, grabbing the two red bands. Don't forget to loop the middle, and then these to the middle, and these to the middle. And now this is what the slip knot bands are for. You just reach in, push all these bands back, grab these two, and loop forward. Take your hook and grab the bottom band and pull it through. You can release that one, and there's your slip knot. Again, don't take the puppy off. Don't yank it, do it slowly. It keeps its cheek shape too, the cheek extensions. You don't want to overly stretch them. And if you use rubber bands, you have to adjust the face because you have to pop the rubber bands through. So it's going to look funny in the beginning. So here's our puppy, and he looks crazy, but you're going to fix the eye and pop it through, and then take the nose and bring it to the middle. And once the bands settle, it looks a lot cuter the next day. You can squeeze the cheeks in. You can adjust the ears by pulling on these to make them hang down or one up, doesn't matter. And again, if you don't like the little cap bands for the heart, you can always take that off. This is how it looks with it off. This is what it on. I just wanted to give it more of a heart shape, but if you don't like it, just take it off. And I hope you enjoyed the Valentine's Day Puppy Love tutorial. And thank you so much for watching. And if you make one, you can show me on Instagram or you can show me on Facebook. So thank you so much for watching.